Let us be forthright, gentlemen. Many men wonder something after the age of 60, but very few bring it up in conversation. At your age, how frequently should you be masturbating? Doing it daily is still good for you? Would you be better off reducing your contributions? Can you quit cold turkey? From do it all to as much as you want to, you've undoubtedly heard it all. Still, you're secretly hoping for an explanation grounded in reality and science. As a urologist, I've spent more than a decade listening to men vent their worries, anger, and uncertainty on this subject. And I can tell you this: while there may not be a magic number that improves a man's health, vitality, and body in general, there is a frequency that does. Masturbation in old age is about more than just letting go. The fact is, it's an indicator of your mental and emotional wellness, as well as your hormone balance, prostate health, and blood flow. Our discussion today will cover the best rhythm for your age and body type, how to gauge if you're doing enough or too little, and how to maintain it as a beneficial aspect of your health, rather than a draining chore. But hold on a second before we get in. If you're worried about your health, click the subscribe to Holistic Health Chanel button and turn on notifications. Shame has no place here. This is not about old wives' tales, to have sexual satisfaction for many years to come. It's important to learn your body and adapt to its demands. If you want to know how frequently you should masturbate, you should know why that's important. Masturbation is more than a one-time occurrence. All of your bodily systems are involved in this phenomenon. When you're aroused, your body goes into a state of rapid heartbeat, dilated blood vessels, and regular pelvic muscular contractions that end with a release. In the meantime, your brain is busy composing a chemical symphony, releasing a torrent of neurotransmitters that affect your mood, bonding abilities, and the depth of your sleep that night. As part of its normal reproductive activity, the prostate gland produces and releases fluid, which is an essential component of this process. There is more to this release than meets the eye. It's a type of upkeep as well. The prostate, like all glands, needs frequent exercise to maintain healthy tissues, clean ducts, and strong blood flow. You could complete the whole cycle quickly when you were younger and be ready to do it all over again. Your hormonal balance restored, your circulatory system eased back into activity, and your neurological system made a full recovery. Your recuperation systems become less efficient around the age of 60. A slower heart rate, less consistent testosterone production, and a lengthier recovery time for your neurological system are all symptoms of this condition. This doesn't mean you should quit. Not at all. All it means is that you need to establish a routine that lets your body recover completely in between sessions so that they are fulfilling rather than exhausting. When you don't engage in sexual activity for an extended period of time, your erectile tissue may become less receptive, your pelvic floor muscles may weaken, and your mood may suffer due to the lack of the feel-good hormone release that occurs after climax. The flip side is that you can experience tiredness, numbness, or inflammation in the prostate region if you do it too frequently without enough rest. Discovering the optimal frequency that promotes sexual health without being overly dependent is the key to success. Where exactly that sweet spot could be, science provides us with helpful direction. Prostate issues were less common in men who ejaculated frequently, 4 to 7 times per month, than in men who ejaculated less frequently, according to a renowned Harvard study. By keeping the blood flowing freely through the region and keeping the arteries that provide blood to the penis flexible, this continuous activity helps prevent congestion in the prostate. Additionally, there is an immediate connection to nitric oxide, a chemical that is essential for erections. To enhance blood flow to the erection, nitric oxide relaxes blood vessel walls and opens them. Even if you're emotionally and psychologically aroused, your body might not be able to produce the desired hardness if you don't have enough of it. Nitric oxide production naturally decreases with aging, which poses a hurdle. For this reason, engaging in sexual activity on a regular basis, without going beyond, can help maintain a responsive system. However, things take a more intimate turn now. Your ability to recover will determine the optimal frequency for you. A guy may be able to have fun more frequently without ill effects if he exercises frequently, eats nutrient-rich foods, drinks plenty of water, and gets plenty of sleep. On the other hand, a guy dealing with health issues like diabetes, hypertension, or chronic weariness may require additional downtime in between workouts. Most healthy guys over the age of 60 find that going 3 to 5 days in between is just right. This frequency allows your body the necessary time to recover, allowing hormone levels to repair, nerves to recharge, and a robust natural performance. It's also frequent enough to keep your circulation, neuron responsiveness, and prostate function in good shape. Therefore, how can you determine when you've gone too far? You can't escape the signals your body is continually sending you. They want to know if you're paying attention. When an erection becomes considerably weaker, even when you're sexually stimulated, it might be a warning sign. Your circulatory system is trying to tell you that the load is too much for it to manage right now. Imagine it like going overboard when you're in the gym. Due to a lack of recovery time, the muscles will not be as responsive. The following time you require their assistance. Another symptom is feeling lethargic or weighed down when you wake up the next day. Rest assured, this isn't simply a natural part of getting older. It's your nervous system's way of subtly communicating that it needs more time to reset. Arousal, muscular contractions, and the secretion of pleasure hormones are all intricately coordinated by the brain and nerves during sexual activity. You risk experiencing a mild but persistent depletion if you don't give yourself enough time to recover afterwards. Decreased sensitivity is an additional red flag. Well, your body is sending you a warning signal if you notice that you require more stimulation than normal to get the same level of arousal, or if your climax doesn't feel as strong as usual. This is my body trying to warn you to take it easy so I can restock my supplies. A temporary desensitization of nerve endings can occur from overuse, making it more difficult to achieve peak pleasure and satisfaction. A subtle pain, pressure, or weight in the pelvic area may also be felt by some males. This could be an indication of irritation in the prostate, which is the gland's way of saying it needs a break from all that activity. Mood also needs to be considered. Dopamine is your brain's reward molecule. When levels are elevated too frequently, your brain responds by lowering them. So what happened? Once the high wears off, you can feel less motivated, irritated, or even mildly depressed. There is some good news. These symptoms do not indicate that you have done irreparable damage. Like the dashboard lights on your automobile, they let you know when it's time to slow down and allow the system cool down before you can continue driving. Sensitivity, mood, and performance typically recover even more quickly after a short break. But there's also the flip side of the coin, doing too little, which is where many guys hurt their performance in the long run without realizing it. The spongy erectile tissue that makes up the penis needs frequent injections of blood that is rich in oxygen in order to grow. When that tissue doesn't get regular erections, whether in a sexual relationship or on your own, it can become less pliable and supple. Fibrosis, a form of microscopic scarring, can develop over time and make firmness both difficult to attain and maintain. Similar to how regularly servicing a car engine keeps it operating well by cleaning out old oil. Regular maintenance on your prostate likewise helps it. Regular prostate ejaculation lowers the likelihood of chronic problems, including inflammation and congestion. When fluid accumulates for an extended period of time, it can lead to unpleasant symptoms, pressure, and perhaps health problems that you would prefer not to have. Tenseness, lack of patience, and lack of motivation might result from the dominance of stress hormones, like cortisol in the absence of this periodic release. Your body may be gently but firmly urging you to resume a healthy rhythm if you've been inactive for weeks and are now experiencing difficulties with getting or maintaining an erection, as well as increased tension in your pelvic area. So, how does one arrive at their own personal truth? There is no secret formula or magic number that you can find online or in a chart that will reveal the solution. It's in paying close attention to the cues your body gives you. After age 60, a man's hormonal balance, healing speed, and physical resilience are all uniquely his. While one person may find a certain frequency to be just right, another may find it to be excessive. That's why it's wise to begin with something realistic. Many guys find that once every 4 days is the sweet spot for stimulating their systems while still allowing them the rest they need to recuperate. Consider your chosen rhythm and experiment once you've settled on it. Be mindful of your bodily sensations. Do you have consistent energy levels all day long? Has morning firmness always been a part of your routine? Afterward, do you feel calm and relaxed but not too exhausted? With a yes for each of those questions, you're likely in the sweet spot. But if you feel a bit under the weather, mentally cloudy, or less sensitive than normal, that's just your body telling you to give it a break for a while. On the flip side, a sign that you might wish to minimize the gap a bit is if you feel more restless, tense, or if spontaneous erections are becoming rare after going too long without sexual activity. Actually, self-tuning is the key to this process. Rather than imposing an artificial schedule on your body, you should adapt in response to feedback from your performance, mood, and general vigor. Consider it analogous to how you would approach physical fitness. Your performance will decline if you train non-stop without resting your muscles. This happens when you run or lift weights. These muscles will become weak and unresponsive if you don't use them at all. The process of sexual function is identical. Consistent, long-term use maintains the system's robustness, adaptability, and readiness for critical situations. Extending its limits is not the objective. Keeping it in top shape all year round is the goal. First, we'll go over how to increase the advantages. When it comes to masturbation in old age, it's not all about how often. What you do to your body both before and after is important. A major one is staying hydrated. The rate at which blood can fill erectile tissue is directly correlated to how well your circulatory system and blood volume are maintained by water. A decrease in firmness and an increase in heart rate are both caused by even modest dehydration. Maintaining a regular exercise routine is also crucial. Going to the gym for hours on end is unnecessary. To improve blood flow and maintain higher nitric oxide levels, all it takes is a little activity, such a quick daily stroll, modest strength training, or light stretching. The chemical messenger that instructs your arteries to loosen up and allow blood to stream in is nitric oxide. In its absence, your brain's most powerful signals of arousal will be ineffective, not to mention the quality of one's sleep. For many men, the best erections happen just after waking up because, thanks to a night of uninterrupted sleep, testosterone naturally peaks first thing in the morning. Not getting enough sleep deprives your body of a daily boost that is essential to sexual health. The second component is your food intake. Your circulatory and neurological systems require fuel on a regular basis, and food provides just that. Spinach and other leafy greens are good for your blood vessel health because they contain magnesium and nitrates. The natural chemicals found in abundance in beets are converted into nitric oxide by your body. The omega-3 fatty acids found in salmon help lower inflammation and maintain healthy blood flow. Plus, the antioxidants in berries shield your blood vessels and neural pathways from the damage that comes with getting older. What you get out of integrating these sustaining routines with a healthy individual sexual rhythm goes well beyond mere efficiency. By constructing a lifestyle that supports a strong central nervous system, regular hormone levels, and good blood flow, you are laying the groundwork for increased vitality, improved mood, and longer life expectancy. After reaching the age of 60, masturbation transitions from a sinful indulgence to a purposeful, beneficial component of your total strategy for vitality. In light of this, how often may one safely masturbate after the age of 60? 3 to 5 days is the sweet spot for the majority of males, on a regular enough basis to maintain an active sexual system, a healthy prostate, and a stable mood, yet far enough apart to permit a complete recovery. Nevertheless, the reality is as follows. A healthy frequency is one that uplifts your spirits rather than depresses them, one that makes you feel stronger, more confident, and more alive. The frequency of such occurrences may vary from person to person. There's no point in keeping score or comparing yourself to anyone else, especially your younger self. Your sexuality remains uniquely yours. It remains even as we age. A more thoughtful approach is all it demands. And when you do, you may keep enjoying intimate moments with yourself and your spouse without jeopardizing your health. Your bodies are not broken, gentlemen. The situation is changing. Plus, you can have energy, delight, and self-assurance for a long time if you use it instead of opposing it.